everyone, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Susan Timchak and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I'd like to welcome you here. If you're a new subscriber, thanks so much for stopping by. And be sure to hit the subscribe button, that little red subscribe. And next to that is a notification bell. If you hit that and click to be notified, you will be told when, well, you'll receive a notification that I had uploaded a new video. And I'm continuing my A to Z technique booklet, and I have a fun one for you today. I know you're probably like, you say that all the time. Well, I'm just having such a great time with this. So right here, this is not going to be spooky, but this is a ghosting technique, or they also call it a resist technique. And here is the card that we will be creating together. It is done on glossy cardstock, and look at that. It's not embossed. It's absolutely flat, and it's really fun, really fun. So this is done using the Versamark ink pad. So this is what the Versamark ink pad looks like, and it is a watermark stamp pad. It can be used for a numerous amount of things, including as a watermark. Using the ghosting technique, you can use it to emboss, and there's just many more things, which I'm sure we will be touching base with those techniques to be using Versamark. So in order to create this technique, you use the Versamark clear ink pad. Now Versamark does come in other colors. Stampin' Up! Only sells the clear Versamark ink. So you want to use, we used to sell white StazOn, so if you do have that, you can use that as well. But I find that the Versamark works best. And you want to use glossy cardstock to get the best results. You can use our Whisper White and our other white cardstocks, but glossy is the best for this. So you want to ink up a bold image in Versamark and stamp it onto glossy paper. Allow to dry or heat set. Brayer or rub ink with your sponge over stamped image. Your ghosted image will appear uninked. Rub with a paper towel to take off the extra ink. And it's as simple as that. And when you do all those steps, you will have something like this. So let's get started on this technique, shall we? Okay, so I have a piece of glossy cardstock. I'm doing a lot of techniques with glossy. There's a lot of things you can do. And I'm using the stamp set Colorful Seasons. And this appears much smaller on the photograph than it actually is. Look at how fun this stamp set is. It has a huge variety from all seasons, from summer, winter, spring, and fall, and a lot of great sayings too. So you'll see it is much larger on here. Here's the Just Breathe stamp image, and here it is right here, Just Breathe. Look how much larger that is. So don't be thinking that this is a small stamp set. This is large, and it does have framelits to go with it. So I'm going to use this Open Leaf, and I'm going to use the Thinking of You. Now I could use any of these stamps. This does have two-step stamps, so you can stamp your bold image and your outline over the top, and it's just a great set. This little chair, look at how fun this could be. The frame can be one, and the sling piece another, and it's just a great set. So here I am with my Versamark ink pad. Now normally when you get a brand new one, it is white, but this is well loved, so don't let that fool you. And like all of our ink pads, Versamark does also have a refill, so you can refill your ink pad. So none of our ink pads you have to toss out when you notice they get a little light or they're not working as well as you like them to be. All you have to do is add your re-inker. Now this is a very sticky pad, and like I said, it can be used for embossing as well. So I'm going to stamp. Now I know you're not really going to see much. I have my lighting here for doing my videos, so I can kind of see a little bit of the image there. And I'm just going to do 3. Leaves of 3, let it be, right? But not when it comes to stamping. So here, I don't know if you can see them. Let me try to, Okay, well you can't really see it, but trust me, it is there. So I did one ahead of time. Let me set that aside to dry. You can also use your heat tool if you want to heat it, if you don't want to wait. So here is one. You could kind of see the leaves a little bit more on this once it dries. Okay, so we are using our Cajun Craze ink with Cajun Craze cardstock as well. And again, you can use a sponge, or you can use that fun sponge brayer that I used in one of my other techniques. And all you want to do with this is basically sponge. And let me turn this over. I'm trying to keep one side nice and neat. That doesn't always happen because I've been doing a lot of sponging. And the sponging, unfortunately, we have very high pigment inks, and they do tend to bleed through the other side. So I'm just going to sponge on some of this Cajun Craze, and you can make this as light or as dark as you want it to be. And you just have to be careful of your fingerprints because you can, was I off camera there? I'm trying to keep on camera. You can get your fingerprints in there. I guess that wouldn't be good for like a crime scene. They'll be like, oh, we know who did this by her fingerprints. But I don't have to worry about that. Not yet anyhow. But it will pick up. Glossy cardstock is very funny like that. It will pick up your fingerprints and the oils from your hands. Okay, so now what you would want to do is take a tissue. I don't have one nearby, so I'm just going to use my sponge. And what that's going to do is it's going to resist the ink. It's going to really make that stamped image pop. But you really should use like a tissue or something. But who has a tissue up here? And not like a, you know, my animals will go run downstairs and get me one. So look at that. Isn't that fun? So let me decide which way I want it to go. I think I want it to go that way. And I'm going to use my Stays On ink. Jet Black Stays On, and I'm going to stamp the little thinking of you. I'm trying not to add too many embellishments to these cards because of going into the technique book. I don't want it to be too bulky. And there we are, thinking of you. Isn't that a beautiful thinking of you even? I like the font on that. I think it's stunning. So there you have it. There is your ghost technique. And there is your little card if you were interested in making a booklet such as what I'm making. So we'll let that one aside, being that that one's still wet. Let's get our little book out here and open this up and put this in. Let me make sure I don't open it into any of my ink pads. That would not be nice. I'd be very sad with that. So you can see we are really building a lot of techniques. So if you've missed out on any of them, be sure to go on back and check them out because there is a lot of fun techniques you can do. See, these get a little tight as you put them in here. All right, come on, get in there. All right. Well, we won't have to worry about them falling out anyhow, right? Okay. So here's our little technique card, and there it is, our ghosting technique, also known as resist technique. Isn't that fun? Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you go and give this a try. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and give me a thumbs up if you're loving these videos. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And all the products that I'm sharing here with you today can be purchased through my online store, and by making a purchase through my store, that helps me to keep making videos, getting new ideas, sharing new product with you, and just having fun stamping. So I would really appreciate if you were interested in making a purchase, which I hope you are, to head on over to www.stampinsucreates.stampinup.net. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a super Stampin' Day wherever you are. And be sure to come on back here again to see another fun video. All right, everyone. Bye for now.